Today we're talking about people who take jabs at you. They make little insults on the low, then turn around and say you're too sensitive when you call them out on it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share if you find value here. Let's get this channel to 100,000 subscribers. I know with your support we can reach that goal. So we're doing something new here where we're highlighting a comment of the day. And so if this channel has helped you in any way, please drop a comment. How has it helped you? Don't forget to include your country and your state or province. If you are a member of the Cassandra Mack YouTube channel, the Wednesday Wellness Club, the Insiders Club, how has the club helped you? Let us know in the comments. If you have any of my books or merch, which one do you have specifically? And how has it helped you? And again, leave your country and your state or your province. You never know. You may be the comment that will be highlighted in our next video. So today's video, we are highlighting two comments. The first comes from the username YakumJ3975. Please forgive me if I mispronounce the username. And he says, "Hi, Cassandra Mack from Nigeria. I started listening to you 2 years ago, and you have been one of the most influential people in my life. I term what I learned from you the art of spiritual defense, as oftentimes Christians can be gullible and need to learn to defend themselves. Thanks for this skill I am learning from you in my desert period as I wait for the Lord to send me forth on my earthly assignment." And so thank you, Yakima J3975. And my prayer for you is that you gain crystal clear clarity around what your purpose is so that you can begin walking forward in that calling. My prayer is that you tap into your gifts and your talents and really begin to dig deep into the talents and gifts that God put inside of you. And that will help you to begin to walk forward in your assignment. Next comment comes from Jannard from the USA, and he says, "You're absolutely correct, Minister Cassandra Mack. I exposed too much of myself to a person. There were red flags that I began to notice. I found out we were not equally yoked. I had gradually cut my access back. I can practically read them because I understand how they think for the most part. God allows me to be ahead of the game. Thank you, Minister Cassandra Mack." So this comment was in response to one of my videos about being mindful about giving people too much access without knowing who they are. And so thank you, Jannard. And I am so glad that you are strengthening your skill of discernment and you are reading people from a mile away. That will take you far. So let's get into our topic. People who take jabs at you, then want to turn around and say you're the one who's too sensitive, as if there's something wrong with you for not wanting to be insulted and not wanting to have scathing comments directed at you when you ain't bothering nobody. So why does this happen? And then I want to give you a scripture. And so when people say you're too sensitive, particularly after taking a jab at you, I want to be very specific here. That's what we're talking about so that we are not all over the place and we're staying on task. We're staying on topic. So somebody says, "Oh, you look like you gained 50 pounds. Oh, you look like you ate a house." And you say, that's not nice. Or, "Boy, I guess you ain't the sharpest tool in the tool shed. A 5-year-old could have figured that out." And you say, "That's not cool. That's not nice. I don't say those kind of things to you. Oh, you so sensitive. Lighten up, lighten up." But why you always got to be the one to lighten up? The fact that you always got to be the one to lighten up with this individual tells you something about your dynamic with this individual. And the older we get, it's not about trying to change people, which we're dealing with grown adults, right? People are who they are. But it is about you deciding who you want to do life with. It is about you deciding who you want to spend time with. You get to choose that as an adult. And so why do people who take jabs at you, who try to insult you on the low, and they're playing in your face as if they're joking, but there's some seriousness to the joke, or the joke is just mean-spirited and unnecessary. It's something to humiliate you in front of other people, or even if it's just the two of you, it's mean-spirited and it happens frequently. And whenever you let them know you don't like it, they now try to turn the situation around on you and blame you. You so sensitive. That's why nobody like you and nobody want to hang with you. Everybody says how sensitive you are and you just so sensitive. And You need to get a grip, and you need to be able to take a joke, but you are always the one who the joke is on. Like, the joke is always at your expense. It is always something that is embarrassing, humiliating, demeaning, belittling, and you are expected to just sit there and emotionally absorb demeaning comments that are frequent, that are constant. That takes a toll on anybody. And so, why do people do this? And then I'm going to give you some scriptures so that you do not allow people to play in your face. And you do not go back and forth with someone when you very clearly heard what you heard. You heard what you heard. Number one, it's a phrase that enables the person who's taking a shot at you, who's insulting you on the low, but they want to get away with insulting you. It enables them to evade accountability for their mean-spirited words. And so when someone can turn around and say, well, actually, you're the problem because you should be immune to fat jokes. You're the problem because you should be immune, and then you can insert whatever the thing is they're saying. You should be immune, and you should just be able to take a joke when we talk about how dumb you are. You are the problem because I joke this way with Sally and Bob and they don't get mad. But you're not Sally and Bob. Everybody has different boundaries, right? So Sally may be okay with being called all kind of names, and we really don't know how Sally or Bob feels because we're not in their heart and mind. But you know what you want in your life. And if you're not doing this behavior, right, because you want to do unto others as you would have them do to you. So if you are the one that's making slick, slide, nasty comments, it's going to be hard to make a case when someone gives you a little taste of your own medicine because you dished it out first. I'm not saying it's right, but if we want a behavior to stop, then you can't engage in the very behavior that you don't like. So it's a phrase, right? You're too sensitive. After a verbal jab, that's specifically what I'm talking about. So anything else that's introduced into this conversation, we deleting. We're not playing. We are not derailing what we're dealing with because it takes us in 100 different directions. So we're staying on topic. So they want to evade accountability for their mean words. Be very clear about that. Now, let me give you a scripture so that you can begin to see this from a biblical perspective. So Luke chapter 6, verse 45. Luke chapter 6, verse 45 says, a good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth that which is good. An evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart brings forth that which is evil. For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. It don't get no plainer than that. Now, the scripture, this is the King James Version, uses the term man, but it means mankind, man or woman. And so a good person out of the good treasure of their heart brings forth that which is good, and an evil person out of the evil treasure of their heart brings forth that which is evil. You can only speak what's in your heart. A person can only speak what's in their heart because words, don't miss this, are thoughts wrapped in language. Words are thoughts wrapped in language. It is wrapped in whatever language you speak, whether it's English, Swahili, Spanish, Greek, Cantonese. Words are thoughts wrapped in language. So they are telling you their thoughts wrapped in the language that you both speak. Words are very powerful. And on Church by Phone, our Sunday celebration service, we're actually going to be doing a whole teaching on really understanding the dynamic power of words. But I digress. Let's get back. So it also says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Now, I want to go back because it says a good man out of the good treasure of his heart, a good person. So a treasure is something stored up. And so if a person has resentment stored up, anger stored up, whatever the emotion is that is stored up in their heart, that's the only thing that they can bring forth. See, a good person out of the good treasure brings forth that which is good. So when you have a good treasure like patience, peace, love, kindness, compassion, that's going to be evident in the things you talk about. You are not going to want to slander people. You are not going to want to come in the comment section of somebody's YouTube channel to leave scathing, nasty comments. It is only a testament to how miserable you are. And so when an individual is doing that to you, they are telling you the emotional space that they're in. Whether they acknowledge it or not is not your problem or your issue. They are sharing, whether they know it or not, whether they are self-aware enough to admit it or not, what is truly in their heart. See, because when you have a treasure of goodness, meaning a treasure of joy, a treasure of peace of mind, a treasure of love, a treasure of focus, because you're focused on your goals and dreams, you're not out here trying to create mayhem, cause confusion, bring negativity to people's spaces. You're not trying to do that because you're so focused on building your life. You're focused on cultivating the things that you want to see flourish in your life. So you don't have the time or the wherewithal or the emotional and mental bandwidth to spew and spread negativity. But look what it says about an evil person. An evil man or woman out of the treasure of their heart brings forth that which is evil. So when you have a lot of resentment, a lot of anger, a lot of misery stored up, all you can speak is misery. That's what. How can you speak anything else? And then it says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So abundance means it's a lot. It's either a lot of evil or a lot of good. So if you're around someone and you can't be with them longer than 5 minutes without them, well, let me tell you about Sam. Let me tell you about Sally. You know she's sleeping with Joe. Let me tell you, and she don't even know this for a fact. She just spreading rumors. Let me tell you about Sam. Well, you know, Sam is really, he on hard times. And the thing is, are you trying to help Sam? Like, why are you sharing that? Are you taking up a collection for him? If that is the case, then that is one thing. So if you were trying to take up a collection because you're going to help him pay a bill, but if you're talking out your neck just to spread his business, you're engaging in gossip. But if you are talking because you want the community to come together and do what needs to be done to help Sam or help Sally, that's one thing. But in most cases, when a person is spreading someone's business, it is usually not about that. It is about the power dynamic that comes with feeling like you got dirt on somebody, feeling like you are sharing somebody's hard time. So you got to be mindful of that. And it goes back to that person who's giving that little dig to you, who's throwing shade at you, but then they want to turn around and say, you sensitive, because you call them out and say, listen, I don't speak to you like that. I don't insult you. I don't take digs at you. I don't berate your goals and your dreams because you're too focused on what you're doing. So when you are focused on positivity, right, even if your life has problems and issues, whose life doesn't? Everybody got problems, me included. But when you are focused on trying to better your life, trying to fix those problems, trying to do things that keep you in forward motion and not stuck and stagnant, you don't have time for the foolery and the shenanigans. So that's number one. They want to evade accountability and put it on you so that they don't have to be self-aware and they can continue with the behavior, which brings me to number two. The second reason why people will call you too sensitive after taking a jab at you and berating or belittling you is it is a phrase, you're too sensitive, that enables them to gain control of the outcome that emanates from insulting you. So when an individual is insulting you, you have to understand, and particularly a person that does this frequently. So maybe you have someone who's envious of you. They resent you for whatever reason. And they're constantly insulting you whenever the two of you are together. But they want to play it off like they're joking. Or they want to play it off like they are giving you constructive criticism. But it's one way. They're the only one. Like you never have anything negative to say about them. But every time you talk, meet, see each other, or your name comes up in rooms, they always got something critical to say about you. At this point, it's time for you to go your separate ways. If all you have is criticism and we ain't gelling, it's time for us to no longer be friends. Or if we related, it's time for us to keep the relationship high and by. And that's the extent of it. So it's a phrase that enables them to gain control over the outcome that emanates from insulting you, because see, here's the thing, they want to control the outcome after they insult you. So when a person is taking a jab at you, right, think about a person that takes a physical jab like a punch. They want to hurt you. So when a person is taking a jab at you and they are trying to hurt you, they're trying to knock you down a peg, they are trying to they're trying to get you to bow down to them because they believe that you're getting too big for your britches. How dare you dream that you could have a better life? How dare you want to work on your life? How dare you get yourself into therapy so that you can address some issues and really begin to flourish and thrive? How dare you start a business? How dare you launch your ministry? How dare you start your own podcast or YouTube channel? How dare you go back to school? How dare you redecorate your living room? How dare you get some new pillows? It don't even have to be that deep. How dare you be a good cook? How dare your sweet potato pie or your pumpkin pie or your cherry pie taste better than mine? How dare you? And you can insert the thing. How dare your vegetables in your garden be so delicious? And the crazy thing is you shared your vegetables with the individual. Well, the corn was a bit sour. Well, then next time, don't eat none. Don't eat none. Get your own corn. So, it don't make no sense. So they want to gain control of the outcome that emanates from insulting you because they don't want you to respond. They just want you to sit there and absorb it. They want you to be a sponge. And you are not put on earth to be somebody's verbal and emotional sponge to just absorb all the toxic things that they say. You are not a garbage can. You are not somebody's psychological toilet bowl where they can constantly defecate on your purpose and on your self-esteem and on your confidence. You ain't built for that. We are created to be God's workmanship. Ephesians 2:10 says you God's workmanship, not people's toilet bowls, not people's doormats, not people's verbal abuse sponges. It don't say that in Ephesians 2:10. And so they want to gain control of the outcome that emanates from insulting you. So they insult you with the purpose of knocking you down a peg, cutting you down the size, letting you know you are not all that in the bag of chips, letting you know that they are very underwhelmed by your milestones. Baby, keep focusing on your focus. Keep focusing on your focus and begin to distance yourself from people that do this. And everything, again, I can't say this enough, does not have to be a confrontational conversation. Everything does not have to be where you write people a 3-paragraph long text about them insulting you. At a certain point, when you begin to see a pattern of behavior that doesn't gel with your life, that doesn't align with your life, simply make the decision to do what's best for you. Be prayerful and make the decision to do what's best for you. Let me be clear, I'm not talking about children. I am talking about adults, right? You have children, you are responsible for your minor children. I am talking about adult to adult interactions. Third reason why people will say you're too sensitive after taking a jab at you, after insulting you, after humiliating you, after telling your most embarrassing story publicly over and over again, after you told them you don't like it. So let's say that the first time they don't know, they could play ignorant. So I didn't know, I was just sharing the story because it was a funny story. But once you tell them that you're embarrassed and you don't like it and they keep doing it, now you're being disrespectful. See, don't let people play in your face. Once you have said the words, I don't like X, Y, and Z, I felt embarrassed with X, Y, and Z. Oh, you shouldn't feel that. Now you're going to tell me how to feel? You in my heart and mind? You God? That's not your place. See, get in the habit of put people in their place. Put people in their place. And it don't have to be nasty. Stern don't mean nasty, but stern mean that I'm not the one to play with you. And I don't care how you feel about my boundaries. I don't care. I don't care if you don't like it. I'm not going to change. And I'm not going to bend to your will. Number 3. It's the phrase that basically says, so when somebody takes a jab at you specifically, they insult you, and then they say you're too sensitive when you tell them that wasn't nice, or some variation of that theme. The phrase, you're too sensitive, is basically saying, what they're trying to say to you is, you should let me get away with insulting you, telling scathing jokes at your expense, and embarrassing and humiliating you. You are just supposed to exist to be my doormat. That's a phrase that says that. Because once you say, I don't like when you tell the story of the time, ... And especially if you're not doing it to them. See, because a lot of times, sometimes we open the door to certain behaviors because you did it first. But if you know that you don't move like that, right, and you don't get down like that, then it's unmerited. I'm not saying it's right, but what I'm saying is it's understandable, right? It's understandable. A person's going to feel the need to defend themselves if you come at them. If you come at them with insults blazing, they're going to feel the need to defend themselves verbally. But if you are not insulting them, you minding your business, you are at your cubicle, you at your desk typing away, doing research, working on a project, completing a task, and somebody want to be like, oh, red is not your color. You know, you tend to wear red a lot, and red is really not your color. Mind your business. Mind your business. Are you wearing red? If you don't think red is my color, baby, close your eyes. I don't know what to tell you, because I'm going to wear red next week, the week after that, the week after that, and the week after that. Matter of fact, tomorrow I'm coming to work red from head to toe. So close your eyes when you see me, because I'm not going to stop wearing red because you, and this is the thing when people insult you that kills me. They think that their insult means something. Like, because they said to you, red is not your color, that you are supposed to say, oh, thank you. I am never going to wear red again. As a matter of fact, as soon as I get off of work today, I'm going to go to my closet and I'm going to give away all of my clothes that are red, down to the undergarments. Oh, I think I may even have red bags from Target. And because red is not my color, I'm going to give away those bags as well. I'm not going to keep those bags. Do you hear the lunacy in that? And so they think that their opinion carries some weight. Get to the point where you are so focused on what you're doing, you don't like red and think red is my color. Close your eyes when you see me or turn your head. You don't like my delivery on the YouTube channel? Don't listen. Exit. A scathing comment is not going to make me change. You don't like X, Y, and Z? I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to work that out as best as you can. But understand where this person is coming from, because this will help you not drive yourself crazy, so that you see the manipulation behind it. I want you to see the gaslighting and the manipulation behind it, because when a person is manipulating you, they are trying to play with your emotions. They want to have you emotionally unbalanced. No, you go on about your day and you have your peace, because your peace comes from God, right? It's the peace of God, not man, that surpasses all understanding. You go on about your day and you enjoy your joy, because it's the joy of the Lord that is your strength. It ain't the joy of your mama, your daddy, your best friend, your cousin twice removed, your supervisor, your co-worker. It ain't even the joy of your spouse. It's the joy of the Lord is your strength. So you enjoy yourself in the Lord, and you keep moving forward, and don't make yourself unhinge because somebody calls you too sensitive. That's about them. That ain't about them. I'm sorry, that's about them. That's not about you. When a person is calling you too sensitive after they make a jab at you, that's specifically what I'm talking about. Because there are times where people are too sensitive. Let's be clear. But that's not what we're dealing with in this video. So there are some people where you have to constantly walk on eggshells. We're not talking about that. We're talking about specifically in this video when somebody insults you, makes a scathing comment towards you, takes a verbal jab at you, belittles you, berates you, tells embarrassing stories after you've said you don't like it over and over again, who humiliates you publicly or privately over and over again. And then after you express your displeasure in their antics, they say that you're too sensitive. So that's the too sensitive we're talking about in this video. Because there are times that people are too sensitive. But in this video, we're talking specifically when somebody is weaponizing that phrase after insulting you so that they can do one of three things. Number one, evade accountability for their mean words. Number two, gain control of the outcome of your emotional reaction from insulting you. See, they don't want you to call them out. They want you to absorb that. They want you to internalize that. They want you to bend to their will. Don't you bend to another man or woman's will. Do the will of God. And number three, They're basically saying, you should just let me get away with insulting you. Just let me get away with constantly insulting you. And so you remember who you are in God. You focus on your focus. And do know that if somebody is insulting you, you have the right to not like that. That's your right not to like it. And they're playing in your face. They will even disguise themselves as giving you constructive criticism. 2 Corinthians 11:14 through 16. Actually, let me go 14 and 15. 2 Corinthians 11:14 and 15 says, and no wonder, for even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. So it is no surprise if his servants also disguise themselves as servants of righteousness. Say this phrase. Say this phrase to the person who want to play in your face. Say this scripture to someone who want to play in your face after insulting you and saying to you, you're too sensitive, and in addition that I'm only trying to help you. See, they disguising themselves as servants of righteousness. What is helpful about saying that you'll never make it in business? What is helpful about telling you it's a stupid idea for you to go back to school and you are in school and you are growing and thriving? Well, what's helpful about that? And they want to sit and play in your face and say they're trying to help. No, they're not trying to help. They're trying to harm mentally and emotionally. They disguise themselves as servants of righteousness. But you already know in that moment who they serving. So just they might get mad. So be careful. You got to be careful with some of my strategies, because they might get upset. And you got to know, like, the person that you're dealing with. You got to know the person that you're dealing with. You know your people, I don't. So you know if it's safe for you to say, I'm not surprised you said that to me. I'm not surprised. They're going to be like, why? Why are you not surprised? Well, I'm not surprised because, a lot of servants of Satan disguise themselves as servants of righteousness. So I'm not surprised that after insulting me, you would say that you're trying to help me, that you're trying to do the righteous thing by helping me. That's not surprising to me. They're going to be mad. And so do begin to pray for them as well, right? We have to pray for those who persecute us. And you will always hear me say that, but you'll also hear me say, pray don't mean stay. Pray don't mean that I got to stay in the vicinity of this conversation and allow you to hurl insults at me. I do not have to stay for that. You don't have to stay for the insults. So do know that. So with that being said, have an awesome day. I want to let you know about the resources that we have available for you outside of the public videos, because there's so much more. So first and foremost, you are always welcome to worship with us at our Sunday celebration service. It happens every Sunday, 9 a.m. You'll see the telephone number. Oh, no, you won't see the telephone number. You'll see the link to the website, CassandraMacMinistries.com, CassandraMacMinistries.com. When you click on the website, you'll see the flyer for our Sunday celebration service that has the telephone number so that you can dial in, and it has the times. You got to go to the website for all of that, and you can join us on Sundays. You will definitely be uplifted. You will be uplifted, and it's real simple. You just dial direct, and you wait for the call to begin on Sundays. If you call in a few minutes earlier, you will not hear me come on until 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then you'll hear me welcome everybody. So it's that simple. That's how you do it. And again, the number and all the information can be found by going to CassandraMacMinistries.com. 2, are you a member of the Wednesday Wellness Club? If you are not, you are missing out. In the Wednesday Wellness Club, we really do deep dives of a lot of these topics that we talk about here publicly. But the difference is we go much deeper, and you get very specific strategies so that you can be equipped to move forward with power, with confidence, with strategy, with methodology, right? And so the Wednesday Wellness Club is a therapeutic group that meets the first and third Wednesday of every month by telephone conference call. And we focus on mental well-being, mental self-care, emotional healing and wellness, all through a biblical lens. And it's cheaper than therapy. When you think about the cost of therapy, which can be in upwards of $250 per session, what we're asking you to invest in yourself to become a member of the Wednesday Wellness Club is next to nothing in comparison to the cost of therapy. And the group is therapeutic. Not only that, you get coaching tips, group coaching tips. You are interacting with me live on the telephone, so you can ask your question live. And not only me, you are hearing the stories and the perspectives and the experiences of other members in the group. And we are about keeping it positive. It's a judgment-free zone. No, no negative, no haters, no haters. If you coming for hate, we don't want you to join. So this is about people coming together to be uplifted and to uplift. So if that sounds like something that interests you, you'll see a join button on every video, and there's a link in the description box to the membership. When you click on the join button or the link, it will take you to my channel membership. Make sure to join at the correct tier, which is the wellness tier, because that's going to give you access to the Wednesday Wellness Club meetings, the first and third Wednesday of the month, as well as our live stream classes. We also have classes. I call them pop-up classes, but they're classes that we have as well. So I want to make sure you know about that. If you are dealing with haters, pick up my book, Rise Above the Haters. That book is a game changer. The feedback that we've been getting from that book is that it is changing lives. Rise Above the Haters is a book that will help you fine-tune what I call your hater-proof skills, so that when you are met with people that don't want to see you win, that want to see a downfall, that are just not nice, you will not allow them to break you down, to keep you down. And it is a journal workbook. So there are questions, there are journaling prompts, but then it also takes you through a variety of biblical principles to help you become hater-proof, with a breakdown of the scripture and how to apply it as it relates to dealing with haters, which is essentially spiritual warfare. And so Rise Above the Haters. And the other book I would encourage you to get is Speaking Life into Your I Am. That's a book I wrote a number of years ago, about 5 years ago, might be 5 years ago, might be a little longer than that. And that is a book of Bible-based affirmations that will help you build unbreakable confidence. And if you go to Amazon, you can read the reviews for that book. And what that book will do for you is it gives you very specific scriptures that speak to our identity as children of the Most High God, of who we are in God through Christ. But it doesn't stop there. The book shows you how to affirm that. So a lot of times we read the scripture, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, or I am the head and not the tail. But what does that mean? How do you show up for life as a person who knows you're the head and not the tail? What does it look like when you show up in rooms, when you show up to conversations, knowing that you're fearfully and wonderfully made? There are even writing activities. And so that book is definitely a game changer. It'll give you confidence in who you are in God. It'll help you to develop. It'll give you the tools, is a better way of saying it. And so all of my books are available at Amazon, some Barnes & Noble, some at Walmart and Target as well. But your best bet is going to be Amazon for all of the books. So a lot of you asked about the Vision Board Workshop for tomorrow, December 14th, 2024. It's closed out. So unfortunately, you're not able to register. It is closed out. For those who got their tickets, I will see you on Saturday on Zoom. I look forward to seeing you, meeting you, for those who I'll be meeting for the first time. And I have an amazing day planned for us. Take care. Let's do our best to be kind to one another. There's a lot of unkind people, a lot of nastiness in the world, a lot of emotionally unhinged people. Let's not join that demographic. Let's spread kindness. And of course, take your common sense, your discernment, and your wisdom with you when you're moving out and about in these streets. Be safe and be blessed. God bless you. No matter who you are, you will have haters. John 15 verse 18 says, if the world hates you, know that it hated Jesus first. So if you have haters, know that God is greater than your haters. Lately you've been feeling the weight of your haters coming at you with their envy and their hate, scheming against you, throwing mud on your name. But God's gonna work it out despite their lies and games. God is greater, so much greater than your haters. God is greater, don't give up, it'll pay off later. God is greater, through the pain you're a giant slayer. Let the haters hate while you elevate. Pay no mind to the critics, be about your goals. Keep rising, keep shining. Your haters can't stop no show. They can hate all they want to. Remember you are blessed. Never let a hater see you sweat, 'cause this is just a test. God is greater, so much greater than your haters. God is greater, don't give up, it'll pay off later. God is greater, through the pain you're a giant slayer. Let the haters hate while you elevate. Don't let the negativity poison your mind. Run your race with grace, one day at a time. They can laugh and they can mock you, but you won't miss a beat. When people don't receive you, shake the dust off your feet. God is greater, so much greater than your haters. God is greater.